Imagine a world where the smallest particles in existence dance to their own tune, defying logic as we know it. Picture atoms that can be here and there simultaneously, or even better, here and not here at once. These are the strange happenings of quantum mechanics, a realm so far removed from our everyday experience yet intimately connected with you and me. In this vast universe, we stand on the edge of two worlds, one where classical physics holds sway, and another where particles whisper secrets to each other across distances that make no sense in our human scale. It's as if these subatomic entities are playing a cosmic game of hide and seek, but they never need to come out of hiding because their presence or absence can be felt on the opposite side of the universe. Now, imagine this: what if your mind shares some of those same properties? What if thoughts and ideas could exist in multiple places at once, much like particles in quantum superposition? This isn't just a whimsical notion, it's an idea that has captivated scientists for decades. Theorists have long speculated about the connection between our minds and this strange quantum world. Some argue that consciousness might be more akin to these subatomic phenomena than we realize. Could the act of observing something change its nature, as in the famous double-slit experiment? What if your thoughts and feelings are not just fleeting mental events but manifestations of a deeper reality? Consider for a moment what it means when scientists speak about entanglement, when particles become so intertwined that their states affect each other instantaneously no matter how far apart they may be. This phenomenon, which Albert Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance, suggests an underlying unity in the universe. Now, place yourself in this quantum landscape and ask, what if your mind is also entangled with everything around it? What if every thought you have, every emotion you feel, has its counterpart somewhere else in the vast expanse of spacetime? In the quietude of a starlit night, as distant constellations whisper their ancient stories across the vast expanse of space, we find ourselves at the edge of understanding. This is not just an exploration into the mysteries of quantum entanglement, it's a journey that delves deep into our very consciousness and the nature of reality itself. Quantum mechanics has always been shrouded in mystery, like the veiled face of the ancient goddess Hecate. It challenges us to question the very fabric of existence, how particles can be here one moment and there another, how they interact with each other over vast distances without any physical connection, defying our classical understanding of reality. Imagine a pair of entangled particles, like two lovers separated by an immeasurable distance but still able to communicate instantly. When you measure the state of one particle, say its spin direction, it instantaneously determines the opposite value for the other, no matter how far apart they are. This phenomenon is known as quantum entanglement and it's mind-bendingly strange. Now, let's bring our minds back from the stars to something closer, your own consciousness. We all experience a constant stream of thoughts, emotions, sensations, our very sense of self. But what if this too was somehow tied into these quantum phenomena? What if the entanglement we see in particles mirrors some aspect of how our minds work? In a world where everything is made up of atoms and those atoms dance to the quantum tune, perhaps our thoughts are not as separate from each other as they seem. Maybe when you make a decision or have an epiphany, it ripples through your mind like waves on a lake, subtly affecting even distant parts of yourself. This idea might sound far-fetched at first, but consider this: scientists and philosophers alike have long pondered the connection between consciousness and quantum mechanics. It's as if our minds are not just separate from these tiny particles, but intertwined with them in the vast expanse of our universe. There lies a strange and beautiful phenomenon that challenges not only the boundaries of science but also our understanding of reality itself. Quantum entanglement is one such mystery, a bizarre connection that defies all classical physics and yet seems to whisper secrets about the very fabric of existence. Imagine this: two particles are created at the same moment in spacetime. They could be anywhere, on opposite sides of your room or even on different planets. These two particles become entangled, meaning their physical states remain connected no matter how far apart they travel. If you change something to one particle, the other will instantly reflect that change, as if it knows what's happening to its partner. This phenomenon was first proposed by Albert Einstein, who famously called it spooky action at a distance. He found it so unsettling that he believed there must be some hidden variables at play. But subsequent experiments have shown repeatedly that entanglement is real and does not require any faster-than-light communication. Now, let's bring this mind-bending concept into the realm of human consciousness. Could our minds somehow tap into these quantum connections? Is it possible that our thoughts or emotions could influence particles in a similar way to how they affect each other through entanglement? The idea is both fascinating and challenging. On one hand, it opens up new possibilities for understanding not just the physical world but also human experience. On the other hand, it raises deep questions about free will, causality, and our place within this vast quantum web. Consider an experiment where researchers observed a group of people meditating on distant particles. The results showed that when individuals focused their intentions or meditated in certain ways, there was a measurable effect on those entangled particles, changes occurring with higher frequency than could be attributed to chance alone. This aligns with the ancient practice of meditation and mindfulness in many spiritual traditions. They have long taught that through deep concentration and awareness, one can influence not only their own and the vast expanse of space, beyond the reach of even our most powerful telescopes, lies a strange phenomenon that challenges everything we know about reality. Quantum entanglement is like an invisible thread connecting particles no matter how far apart they are, like two dancers separated by miles but moving in perfect harmony. Imagine you have a pair of identical twins who live on opposite sides of the world. Now imagine if one twin sneezes, and at exactly that moment, her sister on the other side of the globe also sneezes too. This doesn't happen because they're communicating, it happens just by virtue of their shared nature. That's a bit like what quantum entanglement is about. In 1935, Albert Einstein was so baffled by this concept that he famously called it spooky action at a distance. He couldn't understand how particles could instantly affect each other across vast distances without any physical contact or signal traveling between them. But now we know that quantum entanglement isn't just some quirky anomaly, it's a fundamental aspect of reality. Now, let's dive into the mind and explore if this mysterious force might have something to say about us. Our minds are often compared to computers, with our brains processing information in much the same way as complex machines. But what if there was more? What if quantum principles also govern how we think and feel? Let's consider an experiment conducted by physicist John Wheeler at Princeton University. He sent a particle down one of two paths, but because they were entangled, he could only know which path it took once the other was observed. The interesting part is that when his colleague David Bohm did this same experiment in London, the results matched exactly with what happened on the other side of the Atlantic. It's as if these particles had a pre-existing connection. If we apply quantum entanglement to our minds, imagine your thoughts or feelings being linked somehow. Just like those distant twins who sneeze together, the concept of quantum entanglement is not just a peculiar phenomenon in the realm of physics, it's also starting to blur the lines between science and spirituality. Imagine two particles that are so intimately connected, no matter how far apart they travel through space. What happens to one particle instantly affects the other, as if by some invisible thread binding them together. This strange connection hints at a deeper reality where our understanding of causality is challenged. In the conventional world we live in, actions and events follow clear cause and effect chains that are observable and measurable. But quantum entanglement suggests an underlying web of connections that seem to transcend physical boundaries. It's like the universe has a secret language, one that whispers through particles, defying our everyday notions of reality. Now consider your own mind, a vast, complex network of thoughts, emotions, and memories. Could it be that these same principles apply at the microscopic level within you? Just as two entangled particles react to each other in an instant, could parts of your consciousness mirror this same phenomenon? The idea is both exhilarating and slightly disconcerting. You might start to wonder, if particles can remain connected over vast distances, does it mean that your thoughts or emotions could somehow influence something far away? Could the act of thinking about a loved one halfway around the world actually affect them in some subtle way, even if just on an energetic level? In many spiritual traditions, there's often talk of interconnectedness and unity. The concept of entanglement challenges us to consider whether these ideas might have more than just metaphorical significance. It invites us to think about our place within a larger web of existence. Imagine stepping into the role of both observer and participant in this vast cosmic dance. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions could be part of an intricate pattern that extends far beyond your physical body. This perspective opens up new ways of understanding reality, perhaps not just as separate entities but as deeply interconnected nodes within a greater network. QuantumMind. As we gaze into the vast cosmos, pondering the mysteries of quantum entanglement and its profound connection to our minds, a question begins to weave through the fabric of this exploration: are the secrets of the universe hidden within us? Or do they lie beyond the bounds of time and space? In the quiet moments when you reflect on your own consciousness, perhaps you felt an inexplicable link, a spark that connects not just particles in far-off galaxies but also aspects of yourself. This feeling is more than a mere coincidence, it's a reminder of our deep connection to something greater. Quantum entanglement, with its eerie ability for information to travel instantaneously across vast distances, hints at a universe where everything might be interconnected on some fundamental level. The particles dance in harmony, and perhaps this dance mirrors the intricate choreography within your own mind. As you ponder these concepts, it's hard not to feel a sense of awe. How can something so small and insignificant as an electron be linked with such power? But what does all this mean for us? Are we simply observers or active participants in shaping reality through our thoughts and emotions? The quantum realm seems to blur the lines between observer and observed, suggesting that perhaps our consciousness has a role in creating the very fabric of existence. The ancient wisdom of spiritual traditions often speaks of an interconnectedness beyond what science can currently measure. Perhaps they were right all along. Our minds are not isolated islands but vast oceans where every thought and feeling ripples outward to touch everything around it, including distant stars and galaxies. In this journey through quantum entanglement, we've seen how the very fabric of reality might be more interconnected than we ever imagined. But perhaps just as importantly, these ideas invite us to reflect on our own place in the cosmos. Do our thoughts matter? Are they powerful enough to influence not only what happens around us but also who we are? As you ponder this question, let it sink in that every moment of your existence is the universe is vast, but curiosity connects us. Subscribe to continue the journey.